Good morning, shut-ins.
Yo, 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 yo.
I'll tone that audio down just a tiny bit there. How's everyone doing this morning? I don't know. I guess I'm asking them like they're going to respond. How you doing?
Straight.
Good morning, everyone. If you're joining us, say hello in the comments so we know you're here. This is Eric Martin. I'm Mike Dube.
Jace, JT, what's up? Lady J, what's up?
Shout out to today's
Rayanne, hello.
tie, which is a
Good
Landman.
morning. Christy, good morning. Bud Bros, what's up?
We have an awesome show today.
What's up, Craig?
By the way, just to remind everyone, on yesterday's show we had Niambi Tosh come on with Chauncey Spencer, and that was really awesome. So for people who stuck around, yesterday's show was a marathon show. It was like almost 3 hours.
Gotti Too Hottie, what's up? Hi, Jessica B.
Yesterday's show was so long that Scott, the superfan, took a nap in the middle of it and then came back.
Took a nap.
He did. He was gone for a while, and then at the end we were like, "Where's Scott?" And then suddenly he was like, "Oh, no, I'm here." Yeah, we're gonna be going live to Instagram soon. I keep saying that. I really want to test it before we do it, but it's rough because we do like a 2-3 hour show, and then I don't want to be sitting here that much longer. You know, stupid. But good morning to all the Jessicas and Beantown, Greentown, Adam and
Like 15
G Puddin, Sheila the superfan.
Adam, what up, Adam?
So by the way, we can
Listening
see over
to
here who some of our superfans are. Good morning, Melissa and Rodney. So like Rodney's a superfan, sort of. He's a top fan. Jessica's a top fan.
Rodney.
We got some.
Rodney.
Average fan. He's busted on you.
Not a top fan, then you an average fan.
Oh, is Rodney not?
Oh
listening?
no, Rodney's a top.
Yeah,
fan.
Rodney's
My
a top
bad,
fan.
Rodney. That was a
He
mistake.
proudly displays it. One thing that was cool is yesterday we got our first piece of like real fan. I think like not fan art, but fan music. So Joey, who had won the contest, one of the contests, he won some infused jam. I remember. Made us some music, and we posted it on the show page, so you guys can go check it out. And we welcome everyone's
Lady J has to go through tax
fan art.
Sorry. She said, "Where's my prize? I love you guys."
So, Lady J,
Rayanne, thank you.
I had been thinking that
feel
today's show
good.
was going to be fast, and it's probably not.
Baby blue.
Christy Lee, I don't know. You got to comment more, and like and share the show. That's probably how it works. We can actually, so we have an interesting view, by the way. We can see how many of you, and Scott, the super fan, I hope you're listening to this. We can see like how many
What's up,
times
Benjamin?
everyone has actually commented. So we could do a contest, one show where it's like whoever comments the most wins the prize. You want to do that today, Christy Lee? You want to become a top fan?
They're just gonna spam the comment.
Oh, they are, and that disappoints you.
Well, if you spam the comments, then yeah, that's kind of annoying. Somebody sitting there writing the same thing in the comments just to win.
Oh yeah, I don't think we would. It has to be like constructive conversation.
Hey,
Just because I don't want to think too hard about it, today's.
Tanya.
I think for today's contest, we're gonna do another. Goldie, Dan, nice to see you guys. We're gonna do another. Just
Hey,
comment one over at a time.
Goldie. Good morning.
Yeah, Christy, that's probably it.
Morning,
You probably don't comment enough. No. So today's contest, let's.
Goldie's one of our most important commenters.
Yeah.
She's the one that can
Gold.
manipulate Mike into doing anything.
Goldie.
So Goldie, when we need you when we need to raise some money, we need you to be in the comments.
Goldie needs to be on. Like she needs to be given producer credit apparently or something. By the way, you started a nonprofit.
I did. I started a nonprofit.
It's called Camp,
It is. It's called Camp.
and we're gonna be doing but I'm gonna help. You're gonna be doing lots of amazing stuff. But first, you're gonna be doing some stuff with like COVID medical supplies and raising some money to help
Oh yeah.
get supplies over to people that need it. And we actually are excited. I'm excited for you because you got, I think, maybe a check coming in or something to the first people that are going to start to donate money. And it's cool because you're a charity, so you get to give like a receipt for tax deductions and all that good stuff to help encourage people to donate. So he didn't even know I was going to bring that up, but we'll get more into that. We'll get more into that.
That wasn't supposed to be brought up yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why you just throwing stuff out there?
Well, because people want to do good, and maybe they want to start doing good.
You just randomly brought it up. I wasn't even ready for it.
No. Surprise. We're also going to have Rick Naya on the show. He's got a surprise for us, and we're happy to have him coming on in a few minutes. Calvin Feliciano is going to come on. Calvin used to have a really amazing show that he did with Monica Cannon Grant once a week, and they took a pause a little while ago, and so we're going to have Calvin on too, because Calvin needs to.
I look forward
people
to
need
the
Calvin
show every day.
People need.
Oh, thank you.
People need more Calvin in their lives, and we're gonna have Nick the Intern on, which is cool too, and we're gonna have.
Appreciate it, Derek.
We're gonna have Leighton Knowles and Carissa Santiago, who are co-founders of Wanderland Coffee Company. I was getting a lot of that wrong earlier. And they're going to come on too, so we're really psyched. And I think the first thing that we're going to do, let's get Rick on, because
Rick.
we want to.
What's up, Ruben?
We want to.
Good morning, Los Amigos. You gotta tell me what that means. Who is that? I can't pronounce your name. Giuseppe Vassanino. Hey. What's up, my brother?
Giuseppe's a cool dude. He's got a cannabis friendly dating app and website. So I guess when you go on
get
there,
high and get freaky.
Yeah, this way you know
get high.
Everyone's down with.
Get high and then talk to the kink man.
Um, so wait, who's that?
The Kink Man, the one we just had on the show.
Oh, on Sunday, yeah, Bo Blaze. He. I think he's. I'm pretty sure he's cannabis friendly. All right, so let's bring on Rick. Rick, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Hi, Rick Naya. Welcome to Disrupt America. We're really happy to have you on today.
Thank you very much for having me. Greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all the work you guys have been doing here these last several weeks during our shut-ins, and I want to wish everybody out there a good morning, and I hope that everybody's safe and staying healthy.
Um, well, thank you, Rick. We appreciate that. And Rick, you're always out there trying to spread positivity. You're obviously big in the cannabis arena, but you're always out there, trying to do so in a very positive manner. And I know a lot of folks appreciate that. That's why you have a lot of folks that sort of keep up with you and follow you and stuff.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a long, many, many years standing up as an activist and just a citizen for a voice, to be a voice for the citizens, have common sense policies here in New Hampshire. And, throughout the many of years and the festivals and concerts and all the different canna events and familiarizing myself with the community and helping the arena get its legs up under it these last 30, 40 years. It's been an astonishing ride. It's been quite something to meet the myriad of different people and walks of life that support the cannabis arena. And I'm just really proud to act and walk and talk, as I always tell people, with diplomacy and as a dignitary in the cannabis arena, and to try to hold us all accountable to not issue misinformation and work together as as the greater good of all. And cannabis. I ask people all the time if they know the one thing that cannabis does not have that we have. And the answer to that is eyes. It doesn't have eyes, so it can't make a choice. And we're that choice. So we have to act like cannabis many times and just listen to the community and listen to the voices and try to bring reason without fault and pointing fingers or being incendiary. So it's nice to be, known that way and share the love everywhere I go. I really appreciate that from everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very cool. And Rick, I know that you're out there, you're keeping busy. Even while we're all shut in, I know you're still keeping busy with stuff. But we talked last night and a little bit more this morning, and we kind of figured out something exciting. I think people can probably figure it out because I have your name and then I have your title. I was thinking about putting the great grandfather of hybrid cannabis. But what you and I talked about was that you're going to start doing your own show on Thursday nights, and that's really exciting. And so I'm really happy that you came on today to announce to everyone that you're going to be having your own weekly show.
Yeah, I'm really super excited about that. I was very, very humbled last night. From the phone, my battery died, and I was left. People that know me, I operate with my heart and my soul. I wear it very, very blatantly, and it was very touching to even be considered to have a show to express, the this the entirety of our arena, not just specific points in the medical or rec or the companies and individuals, but a culmination of all the things that we've all encountered throughout these years that have helped, cannabis and the cannabis arena to become what it is. And the Rick Naya show, a lot of people know me from, Rick Naya Live. I do Rick Naya Stateside. And to bring it to the Rick Naya show with Disrupt America and have a presence like this is truly going to allow a lot of the vendors and the manufacturers and production people that I know and who really need this opportunity to have a voice out there and be able to be seen on a national level and a regional level, and to help them with their marketing and give them the Rick Naya, stamp of approval. There are so many of us out there that struggle and have phenomenal products that just need a helping hand. and we want to get these people that chance. And working with all of the cups from the Harvest Cup, the Pheno Cup, Turptown Throwdown, knee can events, with all of the different events that I'm involved with, it's going to be great to have a live show weekly, allowing people to share their news and share that in a much broader arena than even their own marketing. Uh, we're the people who founded the arena, and we have this huge network. And to bring them together on a show and to talk about what their needs or wants are and how we can help one another within the community is truly going to be a very positive thing. So I'm super excited about the Rick Naya show on Disrupt America, and I want to thank you very much, Michael, for the opportunity. And I look forward to sharing that with everybody in Disrupt America.
Well, it was, Rick, I gotta say, it was definitely a no-brainer. I mean, we all see a lot of your personal videos that you run, and you get more people watching you than a lot of people who have formalized shows. So I think it only makes sense to, well, it just, and Rick, a lot of times you're doing exactly what you're talking about right now. You do that often. We'll see you do live videos from conventions the day before it opens up, and you're going around and showing off people's booths and talking to them for a minute and giving a quick tour, and you're always out there trying to help to prop up the good folks in the community that need the most help. It's usually the small business folks and a lot of the folks that are fighting that good fight. And I think that I think that I think it's only appropriate to kind of formalize that for you and just dress it up the best we can. Make sure there's titles and stuff, and that and that there's that you have some tools and a support system behind you to help to like make it the best that we can. Help build engagement and help make sure that just try to make the experience the best that we can. You've been doing this for a long time, and now we can kind of we can make it official, right? And I know that you're going to be looking at doing this on Thursday nights,
Yep.
every Thursday,
Yep,
and
Thursday
and
nights.
who knows? Maybe if it picks up, maybe it'll increase. We'll see. But that's really up to you. It's really any more Rick Naya we can all get. I know we're all happy to get it. So
I
to
think
whatever
what's
extent
nice
you're willing to
to
share,
share
it's
now
great.
is that, the more you get to know me, the more you're going to get to know the cannabis arena and the friends of the family of those of us who've sacrificed our lives for the last 35 years. And for those of I'm going to bring people on who truly deserve to be on and voice themselves. Um, and I'm also going to bring on corporate directors and dignitaries, legislators, people from all over America and the world. It's really going to be a different kind of show. I'm really looking forward to it, and to have the backing of our community. It's very humbling. Again, those of you that know me, you can hear it in my voice now. It's very humbling. I'm very appreciative of it. And when you said that I do this for the little people, you're right. When I go to the events, I hang out with the maintenance people, and I go to the security guards and the people that set up the event, and I involve them into what we're doing. And then as the sponsors and the vendors and the employees start showing up, I show them setting up their booths, and I get everybody involved so that they can see really what it's like to be part of the cannabis arena. And if they can see it through my eyes, I hear through people all over the country, man, do another event. When are you going Rick Naya Raid Side? Do another one. Well, guess what, everybody? We're going to have one now, weekly live. We're going to do a live sesh. Everything's going to be live with people from all over the cannabis arena, from publishers, from magazines, owners of corporations, the little guys, everybody in between, music, all kinds of things. We're going to share the cannabis arena with our community, and I'm looking forward to helping do that with all of us.
Yeah, we're really excited, Rick.
Yeah, I am too. I'm really excited for my friends and family at CryoCure. I'm excited for my annihilated brands, Allele Genetics, all the works that I've been doing as great grandfather lately with my rare breeds, and there's a lot that's going on. I want to thank everybody out there who's given of their time and made a choice and listened to the calling of the cannabis arena and put their faith in people like me to say the right things and share the love the right way and hold those accountable and educate them with data and research that we can defend ourselves with. And we do that very well now. And I'm looking forward to being part of our arena and to leave a larger legacy behind for all of us to share with.
And for those of you who are listening right now, and you have a lot of fans listening right now, we're gonna need a couple. We're gonna need a couple of Rick Naya show super fans. We're gonna need some folks to, that know that they're gonna want to watch and listen, but that also love to help you out while it's going live, and just kind of do some of the stuff that Scott, the super fan over with us, does, which is
Scott super fan. I hear he's rocking that, man. He's pinning all these information that you share about the companies we work with, and it's such a blessing to have people out there that are that intuitive and tuned in to help support the arena. And I hope that a lot more people get involved that way with their own, because when I start helping with them with their branding and their marketing and sharing their information on my show, it's going to be very keen for them to be involved in sharing these things on their network, because that's how we expose this to the rest of the country and the world, that, hey, we're here to stay, and we're a dedicated, committed community to one another. And that's what I'm going to exemplify through our show. And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and so
I'm actually in tears, everybody that's listening. I got tears in my eyes. I'm kind of humbled right now. But when the show gets on, it'll be right on, right on. We're going to get it rocking. We're going to have so many cool people on there. And it's going to be a very interesting show indeed.
Yeah, we're super psyched, and we're really honored to be able to help you and to be a part of it, Rick. So yeah, and people in the audience are asking. It's gonna be Thursday nights. And Rick, did you decide on a start time yet, or are we still gonna nail that down?
Well, we've been talking about it. I kind of was hoping that the guests would give a time that they'd like to hear, because people come in from work. Everybody's home now with the COVID-19. When things get back to normal, we're in the swing. What time Thursday? And I was thinking between 8 and 10. That's a good time. People are done with dinner. They're all getting in. They're already kicking their boots off and having a beer and smoking up. So it's probably a pretty good time. But I'd like to hear from our community. What do they want? What are the vibes they want to hear? What do they need from me to help them get their voices heard? So I was thinking 8 to 10 would be a good slot to really open up dialogue. And people have been asked, how long will your show go for? And I'm like, brother, with me, an hour is just long enough for me to talk, let alone invite guests in. But on that note, it's another thing I wanted to ask. How long would they be entertained for? Would an hour be long enough? Would 2 hours be too long? I know I can fill the gaps and I can put people in there, but I want to do this in a way that the community knows that the Rick Naya Show is part of them too. And they can reach out to me. They can reach out to Disrupt American You, and we can start making some arrangements to get them on shows, and we'll figure things out. But I really want to encompass everybody, because that's what I'm all about, and that's what cannabis is about. I have a choice, and that choice is to bring in our community and share their news and get sponsors along the way and help. It's another thing too. Anybody out there that's in the radio business and has like an overhead microphone and maybe some, earmuffs and so forth, so I can speak on my show, I greatly appreciate that as my first donation, and I'll speak highly of you throughout the season. So I'm going to be sponsoring. I'm a walking billboard as it is. I have my own billboards here in New Hampshire, 3 of them. And everywhere I go, people give me shirts, hats, caps, pins. So I'm going to start going to the people that can help sponsor my event and shows and get their marketing out there to the public. And it's going to be a really groovy show. It's going to be awesome. Nothing going to be like it in the nation.
Yeah, so people are commenting in the comments. So for those of you, if you're going to put a time, let us know what time zone, because some of you might be in a different time zone.
Well, it'll be East Coast Standard Time. It'll be East Coast Standard Time. We'll do it here from the Boston time.
Yeah, just in case they're putting their time. We just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So Rick will be scrolling through the comments later, folks. So make sure you're commenting and letting them know when.
Right on. I think what we should do, Michael, and we talked about this a little bit. I think that the time that people are most active and sitting around their desks or sitting around their offices is between 8 and 10 at night. And if everybody's into that, and I get a number of yeses and the big thumbs up, we'll pin that time in, and we'll make an announcement here. We'll share the new Rick Naya show page, and we'll get that out throughout the networks, and we'll start the beginning of a new era for the cannabis arena.
Excellent, Rick. We're so excited that you came on and that we were able to share the news together. And so for everyone out there, definitely starting next Thursday, and be on the lookout for Rick's new show page to come up, so that you can all follow that as well. His show will be going live. It'll be going on his show live here on Disrupt America, his show page, and probably even his personal profile. So you're definitely going to be able to. I'm sure you're going to be getting notified at some point in your messages that Rick's going to be going live
now. Because remember, I have I manage maybe 30 different pages on media, and a lot of it's going to start going through the show, and there's going to be a lot of information coming in there for people, and a lot of questions can be answered. And I'm just so looking forward to doing this and sharing this with my family in the arena, like Beantown and Alchemy and River, and just all the people that we know who have been doing this for so long and trying to get themselves up there. And there's so many names I wish I could spew out, because there are thousands, and you know that I know thousands of people. I wish I could say all of the names now and just spew them all out, but I'm going to have time to do that live action with everybody. So everybody stay tuned. Thursdays, I believe it's going to be 8 to 10, the Rick Naya Show live action here with Disrupt America. I'm super stoked.
Awesome. Well, we love you, Rick, and we'll definitely be seeing you on Thursday, and we'll figure out. I'm sure we'll be talking about the show here leading up to it, and we're excited to figure out who your first guest is going to be.
Right on, keep it popping. I'm going to jump off when we finish this conversation, and I'm going to get on the Disrupt show, and I want to listen to the other vendors and the other companies and individuals that will be speaking, and many of them, as we know, they're my friends already. A lot of you out there know that they know me, and I'm so excited to see this next show and the next announcements that are coming, and I'm looking forward to bringing on probably most of the people we have on shut-ins and all of the different events and shows that we do and share together in our cannabis arena. Super stoked.
Excellent. Well, Rick, thank you so much for coming on. We're so excited, and we'll be talking real soon.
Right on. Thank you, brother.
Have a good one, man. Have a good one, Rick. Be safe.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Eric. Much love. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right, folks. That was Rick Naya. We appreciate Rick being on. And, yeah, that was awesome. We appreciate that. Let's see if I can boot him, yeah. And then,
his enthusiasm and energy. Can't wait for the show.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool.
Go 100% education and heart.
That's going to be really cool. And just so, next up we're going to have Leighton and Carissa on from Wanderland Coffee Company.
Hey, Leighton.
And guys, we're not going to you quite yet, so just bear with us for a minute and listen in. And
what's up, Muddy
we can
Mud?
hear you, and you look great. And we'll see you in just a minute.
Dang, Leighton, you looking like a snack.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome that Rick is going to be having a night show.
Oh yeah.
It's I think it's been a long time coming. And so just so everyone knows, shout out to Muddy from Beantown Greentown. Muddy's going to be doing a regular thing that really does amount to his own show on Saturdays during our show, where he's going to be doing like grow tips and cloning stuff, and everyone loves Andrew Muddy, so be on the lookout for that on Saturdays.
Andrew Muddy.
Also on Saturday, we're going to have Danny Danko on the show, so it's going to be a really cool show.
Danny Dank.
Yeah, and there's a couple other people too that might be coming around. Tomorrow we're going to have John Olarnik on the show. He's going to be cooking. We're finally having our first chef on the show cooking food, and he'll be making one of my favorites. And y'all know what that is. At least those of you that watch the show know what that is.
What's that? The eggs?
The pickled egg juice. I was just... my brain was just finally getting over that. Yeah, so we're super psyched. We have a lot of awesome people. Cheryl doing Rehabulous with Nurse Cheryl Benedetti. She's going to be doing Wednesdays. And Chauncey Spencer is going to start doing his own thing every Wednesday also. He had Nambi Tosh on yesterday. He had Peter Tosh's daughter on his first show.
She was beautiful. I mean, they had they had a daughter on.
It was, by the way, it was funny too because we're letting them do the interview.
Had the hard eyes on.
Yeah, we weren't like actively involved, and Eric is like, "Who's that?" And I'm telling him, he's like, "Oh wow,
The hard eyes on.
she's really cute."
No, I'm just a flirt. Don't mind me.
Well, and then right after Chauncey, his internet connection, he somehow, it's like as soon as he was like, "Okay, I'm done, folks," and like his internet cut out, and then I had like Nambi Tosh full screen over here, and I'm like, she's still hanging around. Well, maybe we should just talk to her for just a second. And poor Chauncey's probably like rebooting his phone, and we're like, "Hey, Nambi, how's it going?" Still got you for a few seconds. So we're super psyched. We're fine. Like, I don't know if anyone's realizing it, but we're slowly building like a cachet of awesome.
Leighton and his girlfriend to fight us. They like, yo, stop making us sit here and wait. Like, put us on a show, get us on, get us off. Nah, don't try to change it up. They try to change their mood now. They was looking at the camera like, these motherfuckers don't hurry up.
And what was the contest today? I forget. Like, what were people doing? What were they supposed to do? Scott, the superfan, you probably remember.
What's that? Coffee? Like,
yeah, so he's got coffee, and actually that's what
crazy. We ain't got none.
No, well, he's gonna send us some.
That's crazy.
Someday. He's gonna send us some.
Someday.
Well, he just got the address the other day.
It was crazy because he said that 2 years ago he was gonna send us some. Damn, it's been what, 2 years? I done aged. How old am I now?
I have to say, to Leighton's defense, he, and you were in Houston, he did send me some coffee.
Oh, you sent him some coffee?
It was about a year ago. Yeah, it was just about. I remember exactly because it was right around.
So you like the vanilla?
Year.
You don't like chocolate?
And no, it was good. And I like the darker ones. At the time, he had a lot of the light brew ones, but I just left them sitting there brewing for like extra long so you could get them all dark. Get all that CBD goodness out of those.
Funny story with
Leighton's crystals.
When we went to the club. And,
wait, are you telling club stories? And his girlfriend, he didn't have this girlfriend back then, so be careful. So go on, tell the story.
Oh yeah, I'm finna tell it all. Oh yeah, hold on, let me tell. So we was at the club. We went to a club with my one of my teammates in Houston, and it's funny because it's just every city you go to is obviously like, is everybody got their groups, and so we went to this club where unfortunately 99.9% of the people in there were black, and so we walk in as a group, and we got Mike and Leighton
and Terry.
And we get a table, and people are looking at us like, "Yo, who are these people?"
Yeah. So Eric, one of Eric's football friends, who's an amazing dude, actually like picked up the tab for that night, right? And he got like 3 rounds of bottle service where they all come out with like the sparkly bottles, and they're like woo-doo-doo, and making a big show of it, right? So our table, there were a bunch of other tables that got their bottle coming out with the sparkly thing. Ours had 3 of them come out. And so everyone in that club thought we were big ballers.
The reason why he did that was he didn't really want to buy. Like he had the money for 3 bottles, but he didn't want to buy 3 bottles. What happened was we was sitting there, and he didn't call his credit card company and tell him that he was gonna be spending $1,200-$1,500 at a time, And so when the lady brought the bottles out, when he ordered all the drinks and stuff, he gave him the card, and they declined it. And so the lady came back, and she was like, the lady that brings, the waitress, she came back, and she like low key embarrassed him in front of everybody. She said it mad loud. She was like, "Hey, your card declined," and then looked at everybody around the table, and he looked at her like, "Bro, is you serious? Like you gonna really like try to put me on blast?" And so he got mad and was like, "All right, fuck it, I'm buying a whole." He said, "I'm gonna buy the whole club if I got to. Now you ain't finna embarrass me in front of everybody." So that's why he ended up buying like 2 or 3 more bottles, and the club was closing in 10 minutes, and he bought like 2 or 3 more bottles just to show that he was not finna get played by this lady.
Well, and then we walk outside and we're all like hanging out because the
Man.
club's emptying out, and people are coming up to me, and the rumor in the club had started that I worked for Apple Computer and that I was there buying the bottle service, which is messed up. It's messed up that just because a white dude sitting at the well, but that's we talked about this, and you were like, Mike, that's because the entire club just assumed that if that table was letting 3 white dudes come and sit with them, that they must be buying all the alcohol.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
I think that's what we figured out. That's why people just assumed that I, Mike Dube, worked for
Yeah,
Apple Computer.
Shout out to my dog Dez though. Dez is a good dude.
Dez is
He
awesome.
should definitely come back on the show.
He said he.
Come on the show. Y'all never met him on the show yet. But his name Dez Bryant, not the one that y'all think though. Not the Cowboys Dez Bryant. It's a different Dez Bryant.
So Leighton and Carissa, do you guys have yourselves unmuted? Can I hear you for a second?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
muted.
Awesome. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is Leighton Knowles and Carissa Santiago, who are co-founders of Wanderlust Coffee. Did I say that right?
No.
Nope. Almost.
What part?
Wonderland-
What part did I get
Wonderland
wrong?
Coffee.
What is it?
It's-
Wonderland Tea Shoppy.
You know, it's because I really have.
She finna jump through the camera.
No,
with your
and
ass.
she's like,
She's
Leighton.
like, nah, hold on.
Leighton, you.
Hold on, bro. Like Leighton, I know you talked to him multiple times, and I know you made him sound this out, and he still got it wrong.
So it's
feeling
Wanderland.
this
It's
today.
Wanderland Tea.
Yes, but we make coffee.
All right, awesome. Well, this way.
You should put that. You should put that in parentheses underneath it. But we make coffee.
So, guys,
That'd be tight.
we have you on live, and your text is all correct.
Ooh, look
I
at that
hope.
cute couple. Oh my god.
Welcome,
Get
Leighton
the
Knowles and
cameras
Carissa
out.
Santiago, co-founders of Wanderland Tea.
Pictures. Ching 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 ching.
And Carissa, I know you guys are you're establishing this brand, and so I apologize for confusing it. You know it's tough because everyone knows Leighton as the coffee guy, and I know you guys also make coffee. But Leighton, even when we made the post about you guys coming on, people are like, "Wait, is this the British guy, the British coffee guy?" Right? So everyone knows Leighton from coffee, but he's also a drink aficionado. I know he also makes kombucha, and I'm sure he'll mention it. But welcome, guys, to the show. We really appreciate you joining us. How are you, and what's going on?
We're good. We're here from Studio 210. This is basically our home. This is a photo studio in New Jersey where we are going to be doing most of our product shoots. It's where I do most of my modeling shoots too.
Yeah, we decided to do the video from here because we've got some really good lighting. And I know our conversation yesterday, we wanted to make sure we could hear ourselves and see. So Carissa reached out to Russ, who's the owner of Studio 210, and he was like, "Perfect, come set up."
Family.
But yeah, I mean, thank you for having us on. We've been watching. I know it's been a while since us three actually got to hang out. Eric, those were some funny times in Houston because we've had a blast, and it's been a very interesting, almost 3.5 years for myself in the industry. And now we want people to understand, things change, life changes, and myself and Carissa have launched Wanderland Tea Shoppy. The reason it is Tea Shoppy is I'm English. An English word for shop was PPE, Shoppy. Everyone knows me for coffee, but one thing is I do actually have a lot of knowledge on teas. Carissa has a lot of knowledge on teas. And having a company that we both own, run and operate means that we can manufacture and do what we want to do, which is tea, coffee, education, and really being those people that are there for people and that can help. We're not just about CBD, we're about building communities and showing people. I mean, it's hard now with the lockdown, but the whole what we were doing the first couple of months with Wanderland is we was traveling around the US. Carissa has a lot of beautiful photo shoots. She has a lot of people that she works with, and we've been educating people. We've had some fun with coffee. We've had some fun with photography, and now it's time for people to really see that, hey, we are Wanderland. Like, things change, and anyone wants to ask questions or follow us, find out what we're up to, plan some events with us. That's what we're doing, right?
Well, so I have a question. Can you tell me about? So traditionally I'm not a big tea fan, but I guess I'm getting older, which sucks. But so I'm starting to be a little bit more of a tea fan. My taste buds are changing. So I want to hear. Normally I'm a coffee person, but I want to hear about the tea. So talk to me about what flavors, what you have out, what's available.
We can't actually talk about the teas yet because they are not available yet.
What?
But we can send you some. We actually did a sampler for a client back in November. Can't say who, but we sent them out 10 different samplers. We do have some nice. I can't say one though, right? Yeah. So we do have one that has orange flavors in there. It is Indonesia. Was it?
The Darjeeling?
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. What is it?
Darjeeling.
There we go. Carissa can pronounce it a lot more. I'm still, understanding and adapting.
We realize not everyone drinks coffee, so time to expand.
No, that's awesome and very smart. So, when can we? Do we know when we can expect the tea to be available?
Once the lab opens up and we can get all our test results back. And then we can put the QR codes on all of our packaging, which is exactly what we've been doing. That's why the holdup's been, we've got our new labels, we've got the QR code on the back, made in the USA. We test with PCR labs just down the road from us in Allenstown. The gentleman there, Corey, who runs the lab, really, really great people. We actually had a tour of there the week before the whole shutdown happened. But once we get those lab results back, then we'll be making a large announcement, and maybe we can send it to yourself and do a giveaway of some description.
Yeah, that would be awesome. There's actually a bunch of people in the comments right now saying that they prefer tea to coffee. We already have your link up for both your Instagram and your website up and pinned in the comments right now. But also somebody mentioned that because you're British, it makes you sound like you definitely know what you're talking about when it comes to tea.
Is that racist?
I kind of do know what I'm talking about with some teas.
No, it's brilliant though. It's brilliant. Like you finally, like the coffee thing. You were so good with coffee and so knowledgeable, but you're. And I'm not sure which like cultural appropriation is most associated with coffee, but certainly Brits love their tea. Everyone knows that, and so finally you're automatically the industry expert for CBD tea simply because you're British. Never mind all of the other wealth of knowledge and experience you have and you bring to the table.
Thank you. And it's what I do like now is, as I said before, myself and Carissa, we can follow our path. Previous company, there was a lot of things I wanted to do, and I'm no longer a part of that. Haven't been a part of that now for almost a year.
Somebody said, "Do y'all do decaf?"
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I did. We did a decaf on my previous company. This one, we are actually working on some others.
We
we actually have a couple of different lines. We actually have 4 lines currently, but 2 that came back with the lab results. We're waiting for the others. So we have, darling.
Yeah, we have the Rabbit Hole, which is our darkest, which is my favorite because I like dark coffee.
And we have the Knowles Riot. The Knowles Riot is a signature house blend. It's an Arabica and Robusta blend. The reason Knowles Riot is, obviously I am a Knowles, but I'm originally a Smith. So both names together. And back in the 1700s, the Knowles Riot was actually a prelude to the Boston Tea Party. And that's one of my ancestors. So that's the homage there for the Knowles Riot. My ancestors kind of brought tea over, so to speak, when it came down to the Boston Tea Party. And, a lot of people don't realize that it wasn't tea, it was hemp. So I'm kind of following in the path I should have been following from the beginning. And Carissa has really made me see a lot of things differently. Give me more of a backbone. Like I said, I don't care. It was a rough 3.5 years. It was a learning experience, I did something that no one ever did with the first CBD legal dinner in 2017. Then that formed a coffee company that, you know, opened doors that would never have been opened before. And now we really together have a chance to go and show people what we really can do together. You know, it's not just tea, coffee. There's so much more. I'm a chef. I work with James Beers chefs. We have John O'Larnick on tomorrow. I actually cooked with John. You know, great guy down in Texas. He was involved in HEB. Now he does wine. So it's not just tea and coffee. There are a network of other things that I've done in the past, and a lot of people just kind of know me for the 3 years of coffee. And like you said, that's not it. I'm British, and tea is one thing that I do love. I love tea. Really like tea.
Now, just getting educated on it. Tea is a science, to say the least.
Major science.
The whole language to tea.
So how did y'all meet?
Oh, Carissa, that's you.
Well, so it was this past convention of the CWCBE. I was modeling for a company, a CBD company, and I have really bad migraines. I actually had neurosurgery. I'm hardwired bionic, and every 2 weeks I have to go to the hospital for a couple dozen nerve block and trigger point injections, some lidocaine.
32.
That's what you counted last time, but it varies depending on how much pain I'm in. And I was dying on the floor of the Javits Center. And I asked the company I was modeling for, like, hey, can I eat some of the gummies or something like that? And unfortunately, fortunately for me, they were transparent with me that given my medical concerns, they wouldn't be able to help me with their products because it didn't really have such CBD in it. And they pointed me in the direction of a coffee booth called, well, we all know who Leighton was before.
We can say it.
Flower Power. So
he put that British accent
there.
on you. He's like, hey, lady.
Yeah. And there I was. He was not. But I had Flower Power coffee, and it actually really helped my migraine a bit. And that's what I ended up doing. I was there to see if CBD was, I mean, I've been through so many things, so many medications and just different surgeries and trials and this and that. I've been having these migraines, and they're more than just migraines. It's like a complex neurological disorder for about almost 10 years now. So I was like, hey, I'll just go model at this CBD convention and see what I can find out about everything. And, you know, I tried to find him, but I could not. So it came to the end of the first day of the convention, and I tried to get home. But hijinks ensued, and my car was hijacked in New Jersey, where I live, and I couldn't get home. And then all of a sudden, there was
hijacked with you in it. Hijacked while you were in the car, meaning hijacked.
Oh no, as in like I trusted my beautiful sister at the time, protecting the keys to my car, hoping I would get picked back up in Manhattan from the Javits Center. And they had some hijinks in New Jersey, so I'm calling, and I couldn't get a ride back to New Jersey. So I'm like, okay, I'll just try and find the train. And I don't know, it was like the sky just fell. It was a monsoon like I have not seen before. It was just downpouring rain. So, of course, with my luck, the trains got canceled. One after the other. I'm like waiting there. It's like canceled. And it is just flooding out Times Square. So my company is going to put me up in one of the Airbnbs that they had rented for the convention. And then the company's hijinks ensued, and one of their employees caused us to lose the Airbnb. And just by matter of fate, one of Leighton's employees was crossing the street at the time, points at me, and was like, oh, it's you. And I was like, oh, it's the guy that served me the coffee. And they were like, oh, go with him while we figure this out. They'll take care of you. And I was like, you're all complete strangers to me. This seems like absolutely not. And they were like, we got to go. Bye. We'll see you at work in the morning. And I was like, okay, I'll figure it out from here. So here I am with one of his employees, ex-employees.
1 a.m. in the morning.
Waiting outside Penn Station for the next train, which, of course, then gets canceled. So Leighton finally, after coercing in the pouring rain his employee to just call him and ask if I could use the Airbnbs that they had, just because I was out of options. He finally, this incredible man, is so generous, literally just, yes.
Sometimes.
Very occasionally. But he just saved me from the rainstorm, and perfect gentleman, just made sure I had a safe place to stay throughout the convention. And after that, just
picked me up on the 25th of June.
Yeah.
Picked me up on the 25th of June. We've been together since. We was talking for, we was together the whole convention. I was walking around the booth trying to catch her, and I was like, oh my God,
one day.
Like gorgeous, beautiful, amazing. The conversation. We stayed up all night just talking, all night, and then convention again the day after, and then got on the bus to go back to Holliston, where I was residing at the time. Carissa, said goodbye to me on the bus. I asked for a kiss, but she said, you can get your kiss when you come back and see me. And 3 weeks later, I messaged for a week. Then I went totally quiet because of all the bullshit, pardon my French, but all the bullshit that was going on in my life. Things falling apart, reevaluating myself, etc. A lot of people knew what went on. And eventually messaged Carissa, and my words were, I miss you. I want to see you. And you was in Puerto Rico?
Oh, yeah. I was in Puerto Rico.
You did a model shoot in Puerto Rico.
And
came straight home.
Yeah, I just got back to New Jersey. I was just like in a tizzy, and my mom, who is watching right now, hi Mom, I love you. She was like, "What's going on? Is it?" I was like, "It's the British guy." And she's like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know. Where's Holliston, Massachusetts?" And she was like, "North."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, then I've got to go north." So I drove. I picked him up. We drove down. I actually was still working. I had a model tour down to where was I going? I was DC, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. So I was like, "Well, you missed me, but you gotta hop in the car because we're going to work actually. So we'll have the date after."
You had a shoot at a point.
Yes, I did. And we get all the way down to the Washington Memorial, where it seemed like everything, just fate happened and our paths collided, and that we could just have just grow something, a new company. He's let loose from flower power, ready to follow his own destiny, and all of a sudden he almost
let loose. I like that term. Let loose. Remember that. Let loose.
He drops to his knees and almost falls. If it wasn't for the people standing around him, he would have fallen right into Lincoln's reflecting pool, like face in. It turned out that Leighton, we lifted up his shirt, and he had this rash on the back, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what that is, but that does not look good. And he was like, oh, I'll be fine. I'll just take CBD. I'll just CBD. It's fine. And I was like, get in the car. We're driving back to New Jersey. We're going to the hospital. Went to the hospital. Turns out that, of course, he has the luck that very few people would ever want to have. And he had contracted the rarest type of Lyme disease that you could ever have, apparently. There's been 18 cases. So the CDC is coming to the hospital, and the entire time, Leighton is convincing them that, no, you don't understand. I can't have Lyme disease. I'm a Limey. I'm British. We're immune. And the doctors are just looking at him completely aghast.
And not wanting anything but CBD.
He refused all medicine, all antibiotics. At first.
First 2 weeks.
And then the test results came back, and his kidney was 1 kidney on 7%. So apparently he had this horrible Lyme disease for we didn't even know how long. And the CDC was calling us constantly, being, checking, seeing. Obviously they were like, wow, you're the only we're like, why are you so interested? And they're like, well, there aren't many cases of it. And we're like, well, how did they usually end up? And we're like, well, we're talking to the only person who's still here. And we're like, oh, wow, that's
fun.
Yeah, that seems really promising. Thank you. So they were like, the best you could do is take him home, make sure he takes all of the antibiotics for 90 days.
Yeah.
Then go back, get 3 more different types of antibiotics. And he is just refusing to take them. Just absolutely.
I took them for a little bit and stopped and just started taking CBD again, smoking. And, you know, a lot of people out there that are what I can't see comments, but I know a lot of people out there that do know that I'm pretty strict on nothing else but really CBD or cannabis. You know, I believe that it's the one thing that really does heal and help. And Rick was just on a minute ago, and the reason I started and did my dinner was 2017. I went to Hamfest. An English guy had come over here, you know, 2014. I came over here. 2016, I'm at the first ever cannabis festival where Rick was throwing out free joints at this campsite in upstate New Hampshire that I had no idea where it was. And Twiddle was there, and Uncle Pete from Green Gold was there. And I was like, I found my family. And around the fire with Rick, and he was like, it just woke me up, and we was just talking. I was like, this is what I want to do. And he's like, just go forward. And, you know, anyone out there, you know, Rick's show is going to be great. And anyone out there that does want to know more about this industry, there's so many people that are in our community that can help and can kind of help you understand what it is. You know, 0 THC in any of our products. We ensure that lab testing on everything we do. We offer, you know, wholesale to stores, and we have our website. And, you know, we do have a subscription where if people want to ask us questions or want to know where we're going to be once all of this, you know, staying at home order is lifted, then we're going to be doing events. We're going to be here in New Jersey, and we've got a lot of things that we are going to be announcing. But right now we're just, you know, biting the bullet, so to speak, and each day as it comes. But we have our plan. We know which way we're going, and it's a shame that right now, you know, what's happening in the world is really affecting a lot of people, and it means that people have to change and adapt to what they're normally used to. You know, like our industry was all about connection, community, talking, meeting, and now we're all having, like yourselves, you know, online, making sure that you can keep that community going, and anyone that needs things, that, you know, people are there for them. And it's just really hard right now for a lot of people. And fortunately for ourselves, you know, we live in PA. So yesterday we went on 13-mile walk, just along the canal, you know, making sure that social distancing, not many people out. But for those that are stuck at home, you know, there are outlets where you can go on and speak to people and don't feel alone. And that's the one thing that we want people to understand about us. We are a company that it's not just, it's like, we're not a company, you know what I mean? It's not like a big corporation. It's just myself and Carissa doing what we love, working on amazing products with great people, and just being normal human beings, you know?
Inviting anyone to wander with us, honestly, because that's how we found each other, and just right place, right time, or absolutely wrong place, right time, but, you know.
Well, I know that we had one person in the comments who was interested in doing some wholesaling or potentially white labeling, and her name was Jessica. So if you go back and scroll through the comments, I'm sure you'll want to connect with her. She's looking for a CBD coffee and tea replacement in her store lineup. So
yeah, and I have had a lot of, you know, it's been really hard waiting for the labels, but I did have a lot of prior clients reach out to me. One person that the coffee will be going to is Ralph over at Hemp. He's been waiting for our stickers to go on. He's asked for a couple of bags so that he can do a little sampler test over there at his store. I don't know when that's happening yet, but as soon as the coffee gets to him, he'll be making his announcement that way. You know, we are trying to just, anyone wants it, reach out to us.
You want to show the label?
Yeah, why not?
Just give you a close-up of, if you can really see it. I don't know, but
that's the rabbit hole. That's our Brazilian Preto.
Glossy,
really, really
so
dark.
It's a little hard to see. But
that's the one I want.
Yeah,
so
that's what I wanted.
The caffeine levels on that are over 500 plus. I'll actually, anyone who does want to reach out to us through the website or, you know, email us, which is Leighton at wanderlandteashoppy.com, or through Facebook. We have got, you know, all those details of exactly what is in the product. This one's the Knowles Riot. And then also on the back, nutritional, our actual white rabbit, which is our logo, QR code, and then made in the USA, like I said before. And then, as you put on, no THC.
Absolutely none.
0%.
0%.
Very cool. Well,
that's us. That's what we're doing.
We're excited that you are going to be popping out some high quality CBD beverages again. We're excited for that. There's lots of folks out in the audience who are excited too. And we'll definitely be looking out for it. And I am personally very excited to get my sample in the mail, so this way I can make some and drink some on the show. I haven't had any coffee today. I'm hitting that early hump.
Yeah, you sent me your address, so I'll make sure that, and we'll also send you
we'll have to get
some of the Center Deployable Studio 210 mugs, so you've got something nice. And Eric, just so you know, I did send Mike, and I'm going to say it, I sent Mike a recipe for a English pub pickled egg recipe, which is something that I grew up with.
Oh, nice.
It tastes a little bit different than what the one that you looks like you've been drinking on camera. It makes the egg go very, very dark, but it's such a great pickling recipe.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. People gonna let us see that. Let us see Mike drink that for.
Yeah, he actually he sent it to me and said to give it to you, and I didn't give it to you because I didn't want you to actually make it, and then.
That's why I just said it on camera.
All of a sudden, I had to eat it.
And that's cold, Leighton. Why you just didn't send it to me, my brother?
I've been sending stuff to Mike and then communicating through, but I'll reach back out.
Oh, like you sent in the coffee.
Yeah, we should just keep it that way. You know, when it comes.
That wasn't on me.
Anytime people got to send something and y'all want Mike to try it, send it to me. Don't send it to Mike. He's not gonna give it to me.
Listen to everyone out there. If you need to get a hold of Eric for anything pickled egg related, you come through me. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't do that. You're not going to get it. You're wasting your money.
Leighton and Carissa, it was such a pleasure to have you guys on. We really appreciate
such a pleasure.
You guys joining us this morning. And, yeah, I can't wait to get my samples. Oh, and then we're going to do a giveaway. We're not doing it today. We'll stretch out the opportunity. We'll do a giveaway on another day, and you can let us know what it is that we'll be giving away, and then people can get all excited to get that from you.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Awesome. Leighton Knowles and Carissa Santiago, co-founders of Wanderland. What? I'm sorry?
Carissa Santigate.
Oh boy. I'm like 0 for 5 today.
No, and yesterday too. Don't forget.
Yeah, yesterday I threw an L in your name, which I'm sure is like you're the biggest bug ever. We'll have we'll have you guys back on quickly for the day of the contest.
Take it out on Leighton.
You can announce the contest winner or something, and we'll make up for all of my butchering today.
Love to. Thanks for having us on, guys.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Good one, man.
Speak soon.
Wow, that was awesome.
Lady J has to go.
I appreciate
through
those guys
first. Stop asking. To an hour. When I first clicked it said 3 minutes. It said 3 minutes, then jumped to an hour. Are we starting at 11 now? Oh no, I see now.
No, we've been going a good time now. In fact, this morning on 2 pages, I went live like a little early. By accident. Wasn't supposed to be like that, but it happened.
Lady J, you can't fight the taxes. That's what it is. Sorry, it's 2 things for sure in life: death and taxes.
Eric taxes.
Eric taxes is the 2A part. That's like 1 and 2, and then it's 2A. And that's Eric taxes. So it ain't new taxes. These are the same taxes that's been applied to every single gift that's been given since we started this stream. It's no new taxes. The same tax. It's called a chocolate tax. You'll see it. Ask Jennifer. She posted her jam yesterday, and you can see it had like a little finger dipped in it before she she had like a little finger dip in it before she had stuck the cookie in. I told her, I said, you gotta, I gotta taste it first. That's funny.
So just so everyone knows, Carissa's last name is Santigate. Not Santiago. And it's Carissa, not Clarissa.
Oh, nice tie today, Mike.
Thank you, Jessica. This is a Landvin. For those of you that are keeping track. Today was a Landvin.
For everybody who pays attention.
If you're really paying attention, this is the second Landvin I've worn since the show started.
Lady J, once you start being disrespectful to the tax services, we don't respond. We just take action. So
Lady J,
it would be no responding anymore to this. This is the last time we gonna tell you the tax is coming out.
There's a couple of people who are waiting.
You might actually get delayed now just because you said that. So we actually gonna push back your 7 to 10 business days to probably 21 to 28 business days. So you be getting your jam next month. And good thing they come in the little syllable containers, so at least you know it's gonna be fresh with a finger in it. 'Cause
I mean, you know what? Maybe that's of value to people. Like they open up their jar of jam and there's a big Eric-sized finger hole in there.
You just gotta know it's gotta be tested and it's gotta be taxed. Tested and taxed. T and T. That's why they both start with T.
Eric certified.
Yep. You get that that's my certified stamp.
The finger stamp of approval, right? This jam is good.
See, Jennifer didn't have a problem with it. She still posted the picture and said how good it tastes.
Yeah.
See, it's a clean it's a clean finger. I believe me. I rub alcohol on it and everything. It's sanitized.
Why do I have no doubt?
Look at Tanya comment. Yes, Tanya, that's exactly how it goes. That is hilarious. No more daily contests because of all the complaining. Yes, hey, y'all heard Scott? This is what Scott said. I'm going to say it in his voice. No more daily contests because of all y'all complaining. Dan said fresh with a finger in it. Eric 60.
Fresh with a finger in it. Woo.
Nah, the name of my sex tape would probably just be like it had the case for it would probably be like a Snickers bar case. It would just say what's the Snickers slogan? What is it called?
Keeps you satisfied. Hungry. Something like that.
It has a big hungry sign usually, I think. I decide which one, Because Jen actually got hers.
Yo.
I'm just giving you shit.
Calvin.
What up, dog?
What's up? Hold on just a second. I'm gonna put you on the air here.
Yeah, everybody's like, why did this take a strange turn? Yes, I know. It did take a strange turn. We went from talking about...
Yeah.
What up, Cal?
Hey, hold on, Calvin. For you, I'm going to put... Usually we don't show people us, but I know Eric...
Not gonna show us.
No, I'm going to do it this time.
Oh.
This way you can actually see him. Because normally it's like a one-way video. We all see you, but you're talking to like a blank canvas. So I figured we'll be cool. Because you're the first person that Eric's like,
Rebecca, that's a good
Calvin,
one.
What's going on?
That is a good one. You're not yourself when you haven't had a Snickers.
Oh, we do it sometimes, but a lot of times we just have like the remote person coming in, and it actually lets
Leighton says
get up
Eric's
and do
sex
stuff while I'm still sitting
covers
here. You know what I'm saying?
Egg dressing covered. What?
But not this time. This time he's
covered in egg dressing. Ew.
So, Calvin, I don't know if you know this,
Nasty.
but there's been a thing recently with pickled eggs.
Oh yeah, the comments is hype right now. The comments, they love my chocolate, so they like to talk about it.
That, yeah, there's apparently we do giveaways every day, and Jam is one of them. But Eric tends to tell the audience that there's an Eric tax on all the giveaways.
It's called a chocolate tax.
No matter what they win, Eric is saying, I'm going to get a piece of it. So right now they were all talking about, Eric made some comment about the way he taxes the jar of jam is that there's a big finger mark of jam missing. That's how he gets his tax out of it. And apparently that there's a bunch of folks in the audience who just love that, and so they're all commenting away on jam with big finger holes.
Says, hey Calvin, are you Italian too? He said, nope, Rebecca. So you can take that flag you just posted off. You can go and delete that comment because he can't.
So Calvin, I have been as excited about you coming on the show as any other guest, and really because for quite some time, I was behind the scenes on a show that you were doing, which was remind me it was violence. It was Violence in Boston, right? Was the name of. Yeah, it was. Well, I always knew it as the Activist Hour, but it was on a page on Facebook called Violence in Boston, and that's where we went live, and it was you and Monica Cannon Grant, right? Yeah, heck yeah. And that was actually like one of my favorite shows ever to work on. And I'll tell you why is because, like the audience for that show was predominantly people of color, right? And so you would have a segment on that show called Sounds About White, where you would basically you'd spend 5 or 10 minutes just talking about dumb stuff that since the last show, that dumb stuff that white people had done that was kind of like racist and messed up but really stupid, like blatant stuff. It was my favorite. I would sit there while you guys were doing that, laughing and laughing and laughing. And I got to tell you, I did have a couple of white people that it sort of triggered. They for some reason they felt a little defensive about it and stuff. Oh, shoot, man. Calvin. Good thing I've been chatting so much because I had you muted there for a minute. So yeah, Calvin. Your show, which was the Activist Hour, which ran on the Violence in Boston channel on Facebook, was absolutely like one of my favorite shows ever to work on. I really enjoyed that with you and Monica. But so tell us what you've. I feel like there's a like the world is missing Calvin's voice out there because you actually made some of the best shows. Like you had the best sort of like dynamic with guests and stuff out of almost anyone I had ever seen. So I know you guys had taken a pause from doing that show. Tell us what you've been up to.
Man, surviving the Rona, trying not to strangle these children that are home all day, fucking annoying me. I had to just close the door over there because he's like playing Fortnite with some other kids. Just finished one of his Zoom classes, and it's honestly awful. It's terrible. It's fucked up. So don't y'all have kids too early. Have fun. Fuck hard.
Yeah. Yeah, you're Eric feels you. He's been.
Oh, believe me, my brother, you ain't gotta worry about nobody taking my seed. My seed is staying with me.
From the last couple shows, I don't know. I've been thinking about you lately. I'm like, yo, this dude, he's out here.
Oh yeah, that's just. I just like to be.
Rona. Yo, that's a nutty hashtag.
I just like to be.
Dog during the Rona.
I just like to be. I never said that. I never do that, boy.
No, but the last two shows y'all had, it's been taking some XXX turns.
Yeah, but I stay strapped, my brother. You ain't never seen me without a holster. I promise.
All right, good.
No, but I do. I am a big flirt, though. I don't care.
I feel you.
I'm a super flirt because
you young man. You should little
well,
young ass.
it's just that I'm never gonna be married.
This motherfucker's muscles and shit because
he's
a former football player. People think he's grown. This motherfucker's like 23. Fuck out of here, bro.
23. What?
Fuck out of here. Ain't you like 23, 24?
I'll be 29 this year, my man.
How old are you?
I'll be 29 this year.
I love how he says it like that's he's like, yo, I'll be 29, man.
Bro,
it's
my body like feels like it's 40.
No, I'm this much. Are you crazy? Don't disrespect me. I'm almost 14. I'm a teenager already.
Hey.
He's like, I'm almost 29. Little millennial motherfuckers living their best life, making money, fucking these women.
Wow.
It's annoying, man.
How are we living our best life and we in coronavirus right now? That don't even make sense.
No, right. Not everyone.
Come on. This has been the worst. What you talking about? The last 3 years has been terrible.
So, Calvin, over like the last year, especially since you guys, or at whatever point that you guys sort of took a break, I was always sort of gently reaching out to you to be like, yo, when are we somehow figuring out how to get Calvin back in the air? So, I don't mean to like totally put you on the spot right now, but like, you kind of got some time in your life to maybe start doing something?
I think so. The Violence of Boston Activist Hour, the issue was that like twice a year, man, it was almost getting me fired. Like twice a year, I'd be on the verge of losing my job. The Sounds About White segment was like not popular with white people that I work with, that I work for. Like it just was, you know what I mean? Like all of it. It was like once a month, some sort of elected official was like calling to complain about me. It was just bad.
Man, people need to lighten up about the Sounds About White thing.
Everybody's in the comments talking about
like,
how all these ladies.
I don't know. Like if you're feeling triggered by that, then maybe you should figure out why you're feeling triggered about it. I never once ever took that to mean like you guys were talking about me personally, because nothing you ever mentioned was stuff I ever was involved with, you know what I'm saying, or doing. I carry myself differently than that. But yeah, Calvin, I remember you interviewing folks that it was just some of like the best, like you guys would go literally for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and some of the conversations that you were having with people, like it felt like it was 10 minutes worth of show. It felt like, it was over and it was like, oh my God, where did the time go? You guys have been on the air for an hour and 45 minutes now, So beautiful. Time flew, man. I used to warn people that I'm like, look, we have fun. In 20 minutes, you're going to look at your phone. We're going to have 10 minutes left. 2-hour shows. We were always going over. It was too much fun. Yeah. So, we should totally, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but, we should figure something out, a good time once a week or something where maybe you can start doing some fun conversations again. And obviously, like you can kind of pick the topic, and I know you can come up with awesome, amazing conversations that don't necessarily have to go into a place that's going to get you in trouble with your workplace. Definitely. No, I'm definitely down, man. I'm definitely down. Love doing this. This is fun. Yeah. And maybe we can even, I don't know, like I'd love to brainstorm with you, like sort of off air a little bit about some interesting stuff, because I have some ideas, but I don't want to say them out loud, and then you're like, oh yeah, all those suck, or feeling like, oh shit, he's saying them, and I gotta say they sound great, and they don't. No, I feel you. Yeah, no, but it would be really good, because I think it's really cool that there's a lot of people out in the cannabis industry that are out there. Sorry, really good, because I think. Oh, it's okay. I was realizing that I didn't even share this, and I was like, let me find this real quick. So we actually have pinned up in the comments the Violence in Boston Facebook page, just in case folks want to go, because I know Monica is still doing stuff with that, and I know the coronavirus had sort of put a halt on some of the public plans that she had, but she's been doing some really cool stuff with that, so people should definitely go check that out. She's fucking illin' right now. She's feeding about 10,000 people a day, man. 10,000 families, man. Some multiple meals, like people that would have straight up been out here hungry. Wait, she's feeding that? She's feeding that many people a day? Yes, it's nuts.
She's been clogged from having jams on like deliveries. That's their biggest problem is like, how do we get more people over here with cars that can take 15 plates and make deliveries? They are like going nuts, man.
So Calvin, I'm gonna have to hook up with her because we've been raising funds that was gonna help local farms, right, that are making like organic food, and then what we're gonna do is like help to keep those farms a little afloat with some donations, but then use the vegetables, the fresh organic produce. We want to connect it with people who are like in most need of that stuff right now, and it's just about time to start that. So I need to figure out. We've been looking for somebody to like, we have farms that want to help out. We have like lots of people that have been donating, but we want to find the right people to help with this produce. And it's kind of crazy because it's something like every $10 we raise feeds a family of 4 vegetables for a week from these farms.
Yeah.
So we're raising a bit of money, and it would be really cool to get the vegetables from the farms, but actually get them to people who want and need these vegetables, especially during this time, right? Like people who are shut in, like elderly and mother, single moms, and
Right.
anyone with kids, really, right? Like it's just like what you're saying. You got a bunch of kids in the house. Everyone's kind of going crazy, but at the same time, sometimes those are the people that need some help. Healthy, especially like healthy, and you guys, I mean, I'm sure Monica knows because she's feeding a bunch of people, but when times get rough, like the quality of your food is often the first thing to suffer.
Oh my God. Yo, man, I was an only child until like 13 and a half. If this would have happened to me and if I were 10 years old during this, I would have been eating so many fucking mayonnaise and bread sandwiches. Wish sandwiches. Y'all ever had a wish sandwich when you wish there was some meat to go on that motherfucker? I would have been having so much like sugar inside water.
Right.
It would have been the most unhealthy, impoverished thing that I could have been involved in. And you do that for 3 months, like these kids are like, your insides are fucked. Imagine 3 months, 3 Rona months of like sugar water, mayonnaise sandwiches, old ass wheat thins. You know what I mean? Them ghetto cereals, not Fruit Loops, Fruit Roundups.
Right, the fruit in the bag. The fruit that comes in the giant bag that once you open it up, like, you better hurry up and eat that stuff because it's going to go stale as hell.
You can't even give us a cardboard box. See how they got to treat us? So, no, I mean, getting fresh food to people is a big deal, man. A lot of people not eating right, especially now with these stimulus checks hitting. Motherfuckers is ordering, like, hibachi from the house to the projects. It's terrible.
They get, like, 4 good meals out of that stimulus check.
Oh, it's terrible. It's so bad.
It made me sort of realize that, because I was a latchkey kid too when I was little, because, my parents both had jobs, but especially when I was living with just my dad, and his job was like all the time. So, I was always taking care of myself, but I can just imagine that latchkey kids today, how angry they are about this virus, because like all of a sudden they're not like left alone to do all the shit that they normally like to run around and do. They actually got parents sitting at home being like, what are you doing? Don't make sure you're not leaving the house. You're, whatever the rules are. Right.
Right.
So are you, tell me about, because, when I go out to like get food or gas or whatever it is, like I'm seeing a lot of people out there. How is your family sort of handling the idea that, a lot of people are like letting their kids out as long as they're not like, I guess being around too much around other people, but I see a lot of kids out there. How are you treating that with your kids, and what are you seeing in your neighborhood? Like, are there a lot of people out?
There are some kids that have been around. It's definitely scarce. I mean, I feel like it looks to us worse. Like when people say, "Oh, I go out and I see it like a normal day," or like I see a lot of people out. I mean, compared to a normal day, that's just not the truth. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more ghost town than it's ever been. But there are still. I mean, you're gonna see people going to the grocery stores. Even under a straight up lockdown, they open the grocery stores for 2 hours a day, and they'll just do a line. You know what I'm saying? And hospitals got to run. Like, it's just not meant to, like, completely shut down. But I do not let the kids go out. There's sometimes be a couple kids out there. We're straight. They might need to be out running in the yard. We got Xboxes and iPads, and so they stay in the fucking house.
No, and it's like, at a certain point, it's like, that point has far passed, but it's better safe than sorry, right? I mean, the kids might be stir crazy, but the only way to kind of keep everyone really safe is the less contact, the more likely it is that you're going to stay safe, right?
Right. Don't even be outside. I mean, you letting your kid play outside, somebody's dog might have been walking and that dog could have, you know what I'm saying? Like animals are catching it. That dog could have had it. Someone with coronavirus could have walked and spit on the ground, or someone could have, my wife is a healthcare worker. She could be coming from her job at the hospital. She's been walking all over the hospital streets, and then she walks home, right? Comes up the stairs, you know what I mean? And like, if people are letting their kids outside, your kid could be stepping on, touching, playing ball on a ground that she had her foot on and been in the hospital, and you can catch it that way. So it's just like, stay in the house, man. Disinfect everything, stay in the house.
Well, dude, I want to thank you for coming on. This was like totally informal. You had nothing to come and pitch. You just were like, yo, when I'm done with my morning things I got to do, like I got a little bit of time, I can come on and hang out. And I really appreciate it. I want to figure out with you like how we can just enable you to, that you can do this all the time with just people you want to have on and talk about stuff and hang out, but kind of brand it and make it look good for you, make it look real, not just like like you're having a Zoom meeting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and because I think, I don't know, I miss you being on the air, so I know that there's a lot of other people that miss that too, and we all need we all need a little,
when we
little
were
more
on
Calvin
air, I
in
gotta
our life.
say, and I know you sit next to the champ, he's a special dude, but we never saw Doobie with the fucking tie and white shirt, just FYI.
So you know what, you
collar and tie here.
You did right at the beginning, but then I realized that the cannabis industry generally didn't give a shit about my tie and shirt, and more than ever I was getting like weird stares from people who are like, oh, look at this stuffed shirt, like coming in and trying to like sesh in the circle and stuff. And I was just like, yo, I just like wearing ties. I don't know what y'all are like worried about. I've been smoking, my last name is Dube, like I've been smoking longer than most of you, like
right.
The hell.
You're like, that's the inspiration. Like, we like changed our last name because of this. Like, my dad's real last name is Sullivan. We changed it to Doobie because we're committed.
So my last name is pronounced Dubé, right? That's the French way to pronounce it. And my grandfather, who was hardcore French and a school teacher, insisted on everyone saying that. And then my dad, who was self-employed, all of a sudden everyone was calling him Doobie. And my grandfather used to complain all the time, and I remember asking my dad, like, Dad, why don't, Grandpa is so strict about it, why don't you care? And he's like, Mike, I'm self-employed, so all I care about is that people remember my name, and if the name Doobie sticks in their head and that's what they want to call me, he's like, I don't care as long as they write it the right way on the check. That's all I care about, is that, like, my check has the correct spelling on it, and otherwise... they can call me Bozo as long as they're paying me the check and paying me right. He's like, as long as they remember. So
that's
finally,
that American shit. Make you stop thinking about anything but that dollar. Like, nah, we about the dollars.
But finally, my last, I'm in the cannabis industry now, so finally my last name makes sense. It's no longer a joke. If anything, everyone thinks it's my fake like cannabis club name,
Right, like Mike Canna, for instance, right? Like, people do that. Like, so yeah, no, it's hilarious. I just had a nice blunt of some train wreck, by the way.
Oh, nice. Wait, so train wreck is an indica, right?
No, it's a sativa dominant hybrid.
Ooh, that's Eric's favorite.
Like super sativa dominant. It might even actually be labeled as sativa, but it's really good.
So do you pick that up from from like caretaker buddies, or are you getting that from a dispensary, or where are you getting
caretaker buddies? The streets. We gotta go to, we gotta keep that on. Them dispensary. Have you been? They're nuts. It's insane. If you want to splurge one day on a blunt, but who's gonna go in there and spend $450 on an ounce? What the fuck is going on here?
So it's interesting that you say that, but it's really telling, right? Because obviously there are like endless droves of people who are willing to spend $450 on the ounce or really overpay for stuff. And so like there's a dispensary here near where we are that every day the line of cars is like out into the street, and there's like people out the door waiting just to get into the place. and it's bananas. Like I don't really get it because. And maybe that says something about like a lot of the stuff that's available in the gray market. Like you and I might know people that have good stuff, but maybe a lot of people don't. And so, it's
Yeah,
it's
what's
weird.
sad is that they took some of the best customers away from the street. Like when I used to sell weed way back in the day, like you'd have those people that like I sold like dimes and 20s, right? So like I would have those, but then I would have the like upper middle class person who was grabbing like a quarter or half an ounce a week after work or something like that on Fridays. And so those people that have money, like if you have like money, you have an upper middle class job, you don't need to do the street thing anymore. Like now you can go spend more and have this variety and have this different level of safety and all this other shit. And you can afford that now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think for a lot of people too, like they like the idea. It makes them feel safer when they know that it has like that label on it, and that if they get stopped by a cop, I mean, the reality is that you don't need that medical, or dispensary label on it to be safe transporting it around. You just need to handle it the way you're supposed to handle it, which is like to have it in your trunk or in a locked glove compartment. But yeah, I think there's a lot of people that just feel like they feel safer from the police if they think that they're carrying it around in a dispensary container.
Right. Speaking of, dealers that are making deliveries should be getting those containers and being like, if you get pulled over, you're like, I just bought this right now. I don't have the receipt for some reason. It must have fallen out, but like, look, it's in the package, because, you got those little containers, right? Like,
but it's so funny though, because we all come from an age where like, I mean, I could be driving around with something in my trunk legally, and if I suddenly see a cop driving behind me, I'm gonna start sweating. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And it's I still come from a day and age when the reality is that cops just aren't really hassling people too many. I mean, as much. I'm sure they're still hassling people they want to hassle. You know what I'm saying? But like, people aren't really getting hassled as much about weed anymore. People feel safe kind of smoking, even though the social consumption is not legal in Massachusetts. People are still, feeling pretty comfortable smoking on the streets and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a quick thing to say to Chip.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yo,
so obviously you saw the Brady news. And it was interesting because I heard that a part of the backstory was him, like, like Belichick's control, being under Belichick's shadow, that Belichick didn't give him the special treatment. And I remember when you came on one of the shows, you had said that, and we were giving Belichick props for that. And it cost him like the best quarterback of all time. But we were giving him props for like, yo, he'll blitz on everybody, you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Belichick, he's pretty hardcore, man. I think he been wanting to get rid of. When I read the story, he wanted to get rid of Brady already during the San Francisco trade. So I think it's more Brady gonna prove him wrong. I think Brady's gonna win this year. If they play this year, if they play this year, they gonna win. I don't think if they don't play, I think Brady's just gonna retire.
Yeah.
But
man, I mean, if they don't play, I mean,
he's recruiting a lot of players. He's recruiting a lot of players. He's like doing what LeBron was doing, which is
they're letting him recruit players. They're letting him call plays. He was saying that now they're gonna let him call plays and shit and sort of like run the offense.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's been when you've been in the league 20 years, you basically know everybody's game plans. Football doesn't change. It's all rules. So it's only so many things you can do before it all becomes repetitive. Right. Now you're just playing against different players at that point. It's the same. Like Brady doesn't need to study the defensive coordinator. He more likely got to study the players because he's probably played the defensive coordinator 5-6 times already. So he already understands what plays he's going to call and what down. It's just understanding the players that he has now, the weapons, and who's good. If he has a good safety, then that's what his defense is going to be, built around the safety. So it's just it's stuff that once you get to that, once you've been in the game that long, man, it's really nothing it's really no defensive coordinator that can stop you. It's only players that can stop you.
Right.
So
I was loving it, man. I ain't gonna lie. We also had a great defense that year. You know what I'm saying? And like, so you're not gonna be the star of it anymore. Like,
well, that's why Bill was so happy that the defense was good in the beginning of the year, because he knew that the defense was gonna have to carry Brady because he didn't have no receivers, or he had nobody to throw it to.
Invest in that defense, they're gonna invest less than you as a quarterback. And if they're gonna invest in the defense, you're not gonna get that star receiver because they can't afford it. So like, I knew there was gonna be friction when like last year's defense, he wasn't loving that. He needed to say that. Thank you, defense, for bailing us out. But if you're Brady and you see that happening, you got to think like, oh shit, this is not gonna be an offensive team anymore.
Nah, I mean, Belichick has always been defense. He's never been pro offense. So it's he doesn't really interact with the offense. Even when I was there, he doesn't go in the offensive locker room much. He's always in the defensive locker room every week. And he's always been pro defense. He's never really been a pro offensive coach. So it's so him having that good defense, it was exciting for him because he knew, because defense wins championships. If you look at all the Super Bowls and you look at teams that didn't have an offense, most of the time the teams that didn't have an offense but they had a good defense won the game. Because if you can't score points, then your team could kick a field goal, you're going to win a game every time. So it's
the two times we lost Super Bowls, right, have been that. The great offense will win you 15 games a season every season. A great defense is going to win you championships again and again.
Yeah, you see that in the 2008 game the 2008 Super Bowl when they lost to New York. New York had a good team. They had a good defensive line. Defensive line is really the key point of the game. If you got a defensive line, you're going to win a game every time.
Right.
If your defensive line is getting off the ball, because the play starts in the line of scrimmage, and if the offense is pushing the line defense, and if the offense is pushing the defense, most likely it's going to be a running game. But if the defense is getting up off the ball quick, that offense is going to have a hard time making plays unless they got a running quarterback or something. But even if then, you still see having a running quarterback don't do nothing, because look at Cam Newton when he played against Von Miller when they was at their best. You can't once you got a defensive lineman that's like Von Miller and that's at the top of his game, you pretty much unstoppable, because third downs is the most important downs of the game. So
right. I'm sorry, Doobie. I've been dying to get that out. Little football.
No. Actually, Calvin, it strikes me that maybe your show is like you talking sports, and you can have Eric on, or whoever you want. But maybe we need like a person of color sports show.
Hey.
Right? It's a lot of white dudes talking sports in Boston,
Right.
I don't know. And plus, like, this is what he wants to do. Like, honestly, if every show all we did was come out and we could probably talk sports stuff, and he'd be super happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like it's in his wheelhouse. Obviously, he loves it.
Yeah, man. It's easy to fan out to that shit. It's easy to fan out to that. But I was definitely thinking, like, I don't know, been respecting Belichick for, blitzing on everyone, blitz on everybody. Like I think that's a worse coach when you're down to blitz on your average players, like the guys working hard every day, but you won't blitz on that star because he's a star, or he'll blitz on you. That's crazy. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, just blitzing is if you blitzing, it's a lot of stuff to that, man. You can't just, like, when Belichick blitz, is because he has a good defense, because he got good players that trust each other. You can't when you blitz it. The thing about blitzing is there's so much risk involved, especially if you blitzing like 7 or more. There's so much risk involved because everybody's manned up. It's a zero coverage. If it's 0 or 1, it's a lot of risk involved. Everybody has their back turned to the QB, so if he throws a ball and the play is caught, everybody is looking at their man. So if that person don't make the tackle, it's a touchdown. That's the only thing that makes.
I'm sorry. I meant blitzing slang for like rashing on somebody, like screaming on someone.
Oh,
that's what I meant blitzing. Because remember you were saying like, Belichick will scream on Brady, like he'll check him, and we've seen every once in a while, even on camera,
every coach cuss out players. Let me tell you, like, when you see coaches, every coach that cuss out a player. It's just the after part that, like, you can go off on a player and he might not say nothing back or respond, but a coach will always walk up to you after, you know, after he just, you know, talk mad crap about you in front of everybody. They always come up to you after and apologize. Now some coaches won't, but like 95% of the coaches will. They don't just scream at you in front of everybody and just, you know, go about their business. It's a form of respect still in the locker room and amongst these coaches, because these coaches aren't the one that's out there playing in the sport.
Right.
Like we're not like, it may seem like we have no control, but at the end of the day, it's still a form of respect you got to have walking around that locker room. You can't just, ain't no coaches just walking around disrespecting people. Belichick's not walking around just screaming at Brady like all the time. The one time he screamed at Brady that I witnessed it was when I first came, and it was the first meeting, which was kind of understandable because majority of the players were new. So you have to put into their mind that, hey, like, I'm in control, I'm the coach, you know, at the end of the day, and this is how we play. So the one time I witnessed him scream at Brady was the first day.
I kind of respect that. I don't like Belichick. He's a Trump supporter, but the style of like at the first meeting in front of new dudes, you'll let people know like this guy is not special to y'all. We're a team. It's 50-something of y'all. Like this guy's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that with every team, though. It's just some coaches don't do it because that's just not their style of coaching. Every coach has a different style of coaching, and it's just how it is. Like, you know, Belichick, he reads
like
a lot of.
Like you feel like in other teams, you feel like a lot across the board, coaches are down to sort of rash on their star players and aren't scared a little bit to do that.
Yeah, well, it just depends. It just depends on the coach and their coaching style. It's not like a coach yelling at a player isn't because of the player. It's not because of the player did something wrong. That's just their coaching style. You got to think every coach has a way of getting to people, and they have different styles to. It's just like a news reporter trying to get a question out of somebody. You know, if they have to approach it a certain way. You have to approach certain things a certain way, and so, you know, some coaches, they approach it, they go based off of what the experience they have, or they go based off of what they read. You know, like Bill Belichick, he reads like books about war. A lot of like The Art of War was one of the books that he mentions that he reads. That those type of when you put that philosophy in your head, you're gonna transfer that to your workplace. So that's kind of what he does. He takes what he learned from that book and puts it into real life, which is fine, but, you know, you got to be able to do it the right way. Otherwise, you're not going to affect the people you're not going to affect the players how you want. Because at the end of the day, football is psychological, man. It's a mentality you got to have when you walk out there on that field. And when you walk out there on that field, you got to be prepared. And so in order for you to prepare, you got to prepare with a certain mentality, you know, and the coaches have to be able to make sure you have that mentality before the game. If you don't have that mentality, you're not going to play well, you know. So different coaches have different ways of doing that, and some coaches, they approach it the nice way. When I was with Chazinski in Cleveland in my very first year, he's a softer coach. He was a tight end, former tight end. But he wasn't the type to scream at you. And, you know, even if you fuck up, he wasn't the type to just, you know, nail into you. He'd just come to you. He'll pull you to the side, you know, out of everybody's line of view, and talk to you like, hey, you know, you need to do this, this, and this, and this. Then, you know, Belichick, he'll put you on a big screen and show your errors in front of everybody and tell you how shitty you are. But that's different than, and you know, some coaches, they try to adapt that kind of like style of coaching. Like you look at Matt Patricia, who went to Detroit, and the cornerback that he had released, the good cornerback Clay. Apparently him and Clay got into it off of what he said to him in meetings. And so this is where I talk about you have to be able to affect every player a certain way, because some players, they don't take it. And so Matt Patricia, I know him. He has the way he talks to players is real like military like he'll say things to you that you don't like, you know. But he was able to do that with the Patriots because the Patriots are known for winning. They have established an identity. You know, when Matt Patricia was in Detroit, he hasn't established an identity yet. He was still a backup coach, or he was still a D coordinator. He's never been a head coach. So he tried to take what he was doing as a defensive coordinator and put it and do it as a head coach, which it didn't work. It didn't carry well with a lot of players, and a lot of players who left Detroit was like, "Oh, he's trying to be like the Patriots." You can't do that as a coach because you can't. If you haven't established yourself as a winner, or you haven't created an environment that all players can like walk into and be like, oh, this environment's pretty harsh, but we're winning, so it's worth it. He hasn't done that in Detroit. So like you can't sit there and bash on one of the best players on your team when y'all ain't even winning 5-6 games a season. But if you winning 10-11 games a season and going to the championship every year and winning Super Bowls damn near every 6 years, you as a player, your mindset coming in, you like, okay, this is the best team in the league. Whatever they do, it clearly works. So now you can be trained because you understand that where I'm going, I'm gonna be focused. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get what I'm here for is a Super Bowl ring. Yeah. So that's the difference, compared to being in Detroit, knowing you're gonna go there, you might win 6 games, and then you got a coach sitting here saying stop sucking another receiver's thing, in practice. That's gonna piss you off because y'all not winning. Yeah.
It can't be disrespectful.
Exactly. The thing about it, like Patricia, he's done that with the Patriots. He said stuff like that to the Patriots players. He said stuff like that to me.
Wild.
He said some crazy stuff to me one time. I showed up late to meetings because I lost the keys to my car. I had fell asleep and I don't remember where I put the keys to my. So I was looking for them all morning, couldn't find them. I showed up late and he pulled me like right when I walked into the meetings. He was like, "Eric, you showed up late," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I couldn't find my keys." He was like, "You couldn't find your fucking keys? That's your excuse? That's your excuse?" And he's doing this in front of everybody. And he's just going off and telling me how I better have a good practice and all this other stuff. And I end up getting fined and all this stuff, but. All that kind of stuff, everything he said, it pissed me off in my head. But in my head, I'm like, he right, because this is a winning environment. And I understand that that's detrimental to the team.
That don't sound that bad. The one you said before was don't be letting that white, don't suck in that white. That's disrespectful.
Well,
why the fuck is you late? Are you kidding me? That's a bad excuse. That's one thing. Yeah, you're rationing, but that's one thing. But if you was like, Eric, who the fuck you think you are? Don't become, that would have been wild.
No, that's the thing. That's just how he is, though. He does that to players. That's not the first coach that I had did that. Joe Vitt if you can look up who Joe Vitt is, and you'll see that a lot of players had a lot of things to say about Joe Vitt. Joe Vitt is an old coach for New Orleans. He's been Sean Payton's right hand man forever, and he was a linebacker coach back in like the 70s and 80s and stuff. So he had he had some real serious issues up here, and when I was my rookie year, he tortured me. He like put me through hell. He did some stuff that like if I was to see him now, I'd like really have some serious words to say to him. And so it's like you meet those kind of coaches throughout your lifetime, and different coaches have different ways of getting to you, and bringing out the character in you. So it's all psychological, man. But it helps on the football field, because. On the football field, you got to put up with that type of stuff. You got to put up with dudes talking crap to you. You got to put up with getting hit late. You got to put up with getting, poked underneath the pile. You got to put up with all that stuff. It happens, It's a lot of dirty players in the league and there's good players, but that's just it's all part of the game, man.
Yeah.
It's just all.
I'm sorry
part
to
of the
hijack that for football, dude.
No, please do. We need more football talk. And everyone in the comments is loving it anyway.
Oh,
everyone in the comments is loving it anyway. So
yeah,
when they gonna let them players smoke weed, man?
Huh?
When they gonna let the players smoke weed? Are you still involved with that at all?
You said when are they gonna let the players smoke weed?
Yeah, when is that gonna be legit? And
smoke weed if you want.
The NBA was moving to that or something.
I don't think so. But you can smoke weed if you want in the league. They tell you when they're gonna test you. It's not like you can. It's not like you can't smoke. They tell you when they're going to test you. You just got to stop.
Why would you test for weed anyway?
That's just
part of the union contract, right?
And I don't like the anxiety that comes with marijuana and how it's treated like a drug, like a substance, like
well, it's just because it's federally illegal. So,
right.
And the NFL is a federal employee, so it's
multi-state business, right? In fact, you got to do when you were a player, you had to do taxes in a whole bunch of states, right? Every state you played in.
Yeah, you do taxes in every state.
Nuts.
Yeah, that is crazy. Because that's like 15 states doing taxes, or.
Yeah, so that's why you gotta pay your tax guy a lot.
I'm with the movements for weed, man. Y'all see Sergeant Mandilli's killing it with the vet stuff, and we got to be pushing that more on letting different groups, really everybody, but like I like the momentum pushing on different groups to say, yo, these dudes is taking perks and fucking committing suicide and fucking their brains up. Like, let's get them off perks and let them smoke, and they'll be like better people, not just better players, but also better at home. You know what I mean? Like with their families. Like you know what I mean? Like if your pops is a football player, bro, I think you'd be more comfortable him smoking weed all year than like taking perks.
Yeah, for real. Nah, it's true. It's I mean they're eventually gonna let it. They're eventually gonna let it become legal because they'll have to. I mean, a lot of players over time. It's that the new CBA said that they're not going to test for it, or they're not going to fine, or they said they're not going to suspend players for it. So, which means they're going to test you when they're just probably going to find you, whether you'll never get suspended for it. But this year's CBA is 10 years long, so the next CBA they'll probably just completely take it off the list.
Right. Unless, if we get Trump out this year, the next federal administration could say that it's not the same. You know what I mean? Could like reclassify.
Nate and April just
you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. Nate. Healthy Future Spawn.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. That's from Zoe. You can eat those now.
Zoe made them. Oh, tell Zoe to look at. I'm gonna eat them on
camera.
That was just Nate and Averill Andrade doing a drop off of some food and sweets and stuff to us, which is really awesome.
Edibles or no?
Normally yes, but today not. Today it's non-infused edibles.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Zoe.
Hey.
That's Averill's daughter.
Here, hold
she
them down
made
here. This
these.
is the one everyone can see in front of the laptop.
She made these for us. Thank you.
Oh.
No, I love my sweets.
And by the way, while you guys have been talking, we got a food delivery, and this is an egg and cheese sandwich for you.
Egg and cheese.
And that is an iced tea.
Iced tea.
And I got myself a breakfast sandwich. So Cheryl Benedetti, who you know, she has a segment on this show now called Rehabulous with Nurse Cheryl.
That is the best name ever.
Isn't it really cool?
Nailed that.
Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl.
No, it totally
really appreciate it.
It totally like captures Cheryl's essence and
fabulous. Oh my god, that is it.
They said they got us pickled eggs. You know what that means? This week we're gonna have another fundraiser.
So I don't know, Calvin. We were trying to raise some money. I was mentioned earlier for like to get farm shares, get produce off of local farms, support them, but then give it to people who need it. Right, give that food to people who need it. And so we were raising money for that, and we definitely raised some decent money, and it was getting some traction. But then it kind of like slows down, right? Because it's like the people who are going to give, and then then the people who aren't going to give still aren't going to give, right? So
right.
It started to slow down a little bit. And so the other day, for some reason, the people in the comments on the show decided that they would actually give money if I drank pickled egg juice.
Ooh.
On camera. And by the way, do you want to know whose idea this was? Goldie Piff. Do you know Goldie?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, it was Goldie's idea. She totally was like...
It's unsweetened.
Yo, you a champ. You should smack that shit off the table.
You want some sugar?
Now.
I can grab you some sugar.
You should be like, yo, didn't I say sweeten? Didn't I fucking say sweeten? Like, clear off the whole table, fam.
I'm one person that has never been ungrateful. Like, I'm never... I've never been unappreciative of food or any type of beverage or anything. But let me tell you, the worst feeling in the world, the worst feeling in the world is when you drink unsweetened iced tea. That is the absolute worst feeling in the world. Like, it just completely ruins everything that you've had in the last 20 minutes.
Your whole world comes crashing down, right? It almost feels like it's a pandemic. Like, what are we doing?
No, it's bad when you taste unsweetened tea. It's pretty bad.
So I need to admit something right now, and I don't think Eric and Calvin noticed, but the people at home probably noticed, was that I accidentally started to try that iced tea and almost puked, and people on camera could see it, but you two were probably talking and didn't notice. And so I actually took my straw out and put the new straw in the iced tea and gave it to him, because I actually checked this other one, and it happens to be orange juice, and I'm like, I don't know whether or not he likes iced tea or not, but I know I'm getting that.
Ruin somebody's day.
Orange juice.
You want to ruin somebody's day, especially. Right. Look, if you want to get into a fight with a Southern person, give them some unsweetened iced tea. Like, if you really want to just piss off a Southern person, give them some unsweetened iced tea. I bet you Jessica A is in the comments and she hears this, but anybody that's from the South know that if you give them unsweetened tea, you are on a shit list.
I like the idea of the fundraisers, though. I think you guys should do some of those TikTok challenges. Would be crazy, the two of you.
Okay. I don't get on TikTok. Challenges. I don't get on TikTok.
But we could still do it even if we don't upload it to TikTok, I think is what he's saying.
TikTok is a Chinese app.
Uh-huh.
And
you don't fuck with Chinese people?
Nah, it's nothing to do with that. I don't mess with Chinese people. No, the app records all your. So they the FBI and all like the Secret Service and stuff, their kids and their families aren't allowed to have TikTok on their phone because the Chinese records it. The Chinese, they take data from like your location and all that stuff. And once you accept the terms and conditions when you download it, that's basically you agreeing. So,
damn, I should.
Once I read that they made all federal employees take their kids off TikTok and stuff, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but then they should do the same thing with Amazon and the same thing with Apple and the same thing with everyone else who's like passively.
They're not Chinese. They're not Chinese. They're not Chinese. Ran. They didn't originate in China.
Oh, that's right. But they're making shit over there. What if they infuse everything with like?
Yeah, they're making it. That's different. That's not being a company that was from China.
Right. No. Right.
Everything is made in China.
Cool,
don't mean it's from there.
Raising money, like doing some funny video. If you did the flip challenge and shit like that, drinking pickle juice, that's some terroristic shit, man. Goldie's out of her mind with that.
Yo, and Goldie, it wasn't even, at first it was like, Mike should drink a shot or a sip of pickle juice. And somebody was like, yeah, I would donate some money to the charity if Mike took a sip of pickle juice.
Yo, hold up. The homie Conrad Pop said to take off his shirt, though, yo.
Who?
Your bro said take off his shirt.
Where's he in the comments? That's so funny.
He joined my watch party.
What? So
he put that post there.
We are on day 25 of this show. Conrad has never once watched the show. This is the first time ever he's watching it, and he's doing it like hidden. We can't even tell. But that's cool. I'm glad he's at least finally watching. Conrad.
He said take off his shirt, though. Why are you wearing his shirt, E?
Yo, we're not taking the
shirt.
Yeah,
the dude said that's his all shirt. My clothes from when he first lived with me.
Oh, Eric was wondering where that shirt came from too this morning. He was like, "Yo, where's this shirt from? Why is it so tight and tiny?" And I'm like, "Yo, that's definitely not my shirt. It's so tiny." But now it makes sense that we know that the tiny shirt is really Conrad's shirt.
And he's thinner than you. You wearing a XXS. See, all the muscly motherfuckers love to do that. Wear a XX medium shirt just to further make us all feel bad. Like about our lack of muscles.
I don't do that to make nobody feel bad. I don't brag or show anything off.
He didn't do it.
Just simply how I like to wear my clothes.
He didn't do it on purpose, but when he did put it
on, I got pictures I can show you where I used to wear the 5X t-shirts, and I used to sag, and I used to wear Air Forces all the time. I got them pictures
I'm just
too.
saying on my timeline right now, I got a skinny man saying that his fucking muscly brother be stealing his shirt so that he can look sexier. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah,
Poppy got all my clothes. Like any bit of clothes he wears mine, and he'll tell you that. Like that's true.
Averill Andrade, if you're watching this right now, Eric literally just poured like probably 35 tablespoons of sugar into that iced tea. No, I hear you.
Hey, bro, how much is Coke you gonna put in that shit?
Unsweetened iced tea should not. That's like a punishment. I don't understand where people decide that that's good. That's like drinking black coffee. You gotta. That's like an acquired taste. You gotta be ready to like.
I like black coffee with sugar though.
No, with sugar though, right? Exactly. I'm just talking about like straight up black coffee. Like that's
man.
You gotta be a tiny bit self-hating to actually enjoy black coffee. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe not self-hating. Calvin, I really appreciate you hanging out with us, and I don't know. I think you and Eric should think about having a. I don't know. I don't overcommit, but maybe even just like a little weekly thing or something. Get on, talk about some sports. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm down.
He would love it.
Rebecca, why would I take the time to melt some sugar and some hot water to put it in my?
Because this way it wouldn't stay all granulated. It would like mix with all your tea.
I'm good. That was way too much work. I gotta boil the water. It's too much work.
Right.
No.
And Calvin, the other thing you would love about this is that we have a chat client. So even though we're going out to like the 10 different places, we got the chat client that brings them all into one place, so you can see everyone saying everything everywhere. The only thing we couldn't see is when you're in a watch party. So anyone that's in your watch party, we can't see those comments. Those stay private to you guys.
Right.
Hell yeah, Jennifer, I'm gonna have diabetes.
I love how
you said sugar ruins tea.
Man. We need
you
you
crazy
for like
Ashley.
80, 90 years.
I gotta say it's really nice that Cheryl sent us this breakfast stuff. And clearly,
Cheryl looks amazing, man. Cheryl looks like she's 28 years old right now. Shout out to Cheryl.
Uh-oh.
That glow up, that rehab glow up is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yep, so she's been sober now for a year, and what she didn't realize was just like not having all those drinks with mixed drinks with sugar in it and stuff. She just started losing weight like crazy because she stopped drinking.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you never know. Like
her hair, like her, if you look at her pics on Facebook, her skin, her hair, all that, especially in such a tough, stressful time, man, that glow up is ill, man. Shout out to Cheryl.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and she's coming on every Wednesday to do another interview with somebody. So we're psyched about that for sure. So
I got 12:15. I gotta jump on.
Yeah, we appreciate you hanging out with us, dude. And we can't wait for you to come back.
Mad fun. Hit me up, dog. I'm definitely down to come back. Super fun.
It was a lot of fun. We'll talk to you soon, man. Appreciate you.
Bro. All right, champ.
Have a good one, man.
Peace and love.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Calvin Feliciano. We appreciate him. He's a good dude. That's interesting. I did upgrade Zoom, and Zoom is telling me to upgrade. Bastards.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Eric is so happy. Today was fun.
Yep.
Leighton's girlfriend, who I haven't met in person yet, is gonna destroy me because I messed her spelling of her name up.
She gonna take it out on Leighton first. Can't believe you talked to him and you didn't say it right.
And Leighton's gonna be like, "I swear to God, look, I wrote your name down, and he still got it wrong."
She gonna look at the text. It's gonna actually be wrong.
Shout out to my mom who's in the comments. We love her. She was mad at me because I mentioned her on air and
Hey,
I
Sharon.
shouldn't have. But glad she's back. Uh,
What's in the bread bag?
is he talking about this?
What's in the bread bag?
I don't know that. Well, so we got sandwiches from Cheryl. We got breakfast sandwiches. I didn't want to make Calvin jealous, but
I'm fat right now.
we got egg and cheese, and I got meat on mine, so I had linguiça, which was awesome. And there's one here that's
Sorry,
bacon.
I had to hear me burp.
There's one here that's bacon, and I'm gonna eat that one too.
Excuse me. Oof. Y'all finna be hearing these burps all day.
By the way, one thing I haven't done yet, and now is probably the right time of the show to check it, is
Open the bread bag.
sniff my keyboard. I needed to sniff the. So Nate and Avril stopped by and dropped off
A bunch of stuff. They dropped off some more stuff for us. So nice of them.
I'm
to
excited.
Get us right.
I'm really excited looking at this stuff, by the way. I wrote today, I said Lego My Ego, they brought me blueberry Eggos. I'm really excited about that. And some milk to go with my coffee syrup. Doo-doo-doo-doo. We're like all singy and happy now. But we've also been going for a little over 2 hours. Did you notice that?
And we
Nate said open the bread. Oh, that's why everyone's asking about the bread bag.
to the part of
What's
the
a bread
show.
bag? There's no bread bag. It must have blown away, Nate. Sorry. I don't know what he's talking about, bread bag.
The bread bag.
Is it like a red bag? Is that what we mean?
That one right there.
But you mean garlic bread? You want me to open up the garlic bread?
I don't know, but you need to close that door. It's cold. God damn. Oh, no, I need to get up and move because it's cold. I do not like the cold, y'all. I hate the cold.
Oh, that's why he said the bread. The
It's
bag with the
so
bread.
Cold.
Here, look. Here's what
It's
he's talking
got
about.
me freezing. Ooh, we got a nice little gift for us.
Yes, Rebecca, breakfast does
They hooked
drastically
us up.
change our demeanor. Imagine if
We got everything, Nate. We know what you're talking about. That nice little fresh pack of greens that we got. Nate dropped us off some green beans. Appreciate it. Shout out to my dog, Nate.
looks really good. And some
Nate,
papers.
diggity dog.
He gets one more diggity for every fresher surprise that he.
Hooked us up with the string beans. If you don't know what a string bean is, then I can't help you. Hooked us up with some broccoli. What's up, Sam's One? Hello. Hello. Is anybody in there? Is anybody out there?
Autofocus.
Is anyone home? Come on down. I know you're feeling down. Well, I come to ease your pain, get you on your feet again.
Just gonna make him weed head. By the way, folks, that might be the first black dude you've ever heard singing Pink Floyd.
Your feet again.
So mark the day and the time. Download this. Oh yeah, Scott. I guess I can do that.
There ain't nobody know Pink Floyd. I know Sam's know Pink Floyd. That's our Twitch follower. Knows that Pink Floyd. Put you on your feet again.
It's probably the best I can do. Smells delicious.
What's your favorite Pink Floyd song? For all you real Pink Floyd fans out there.
There's like two people that actually don't know the name of an actual song. They're like, The Wall. The Wall is my favorite song.
For all you Pink Floyd fans out there.
So, by the way, speaking of, we're supposed to end the show and go do a site visit to Beantown Greentown Studio. Like, as soon as we're done, we're going.
Hello, Eric and Mike is our inspiration. Log on at 10 to hear them as they educate the words they speak. They are not deceiving. Eric eats eggs every morning. Hello. That was from Leighton. Seen that one in Floyd. Oh. I was supposed to sing that in Pink Floyd voice.
Oh, do it. So do it again. Hello. Eric and Mike is our inspiration.
Log on at 10 to hear them as they educate. They speak. They are not deceiving.
Eric eats eggs every morning.
Leighton, you're funny.
You're back in the club, Leighton.
You gotta come over here so we can play some Pink Floyd and vibe out. I love vibing out to Pink Floyd. Don't y'all just like sitting in the room, laying on the ground, sweating your balls off?
Nervous,
sweating your balls off, listening to Pink Floyd as you go through all these emotions of terror and feeling like a brick in a wall,
self-discovery, and doesn't that sound awesome? Well, it is. Oh, so yeah, we're going to
Zoe. I absolutely love the blue cupcake that I had. It was so sweet to me. Thank you for that. Yeah, we gotta come on, Leighton, come on down. We gotta for all my friends out there. Actually, I want to do who wants to come on a little road trip with me to the Boston Museum
of Science.
Anybody would like to take a little trip with me to the Boston Museum of Science? Let me know.
Yeah, we're gonna plan a group trip.
We got trips available. They will be coming up for 2020, and let me tell you, these is a wild ride.
Eric Martin's Wild Ride.
We're gonna call it the Magic School Bus. That's what we're gonna call it. So I'm gonna plan a trip. Actually, it probably could be for my birthday. I'm gonna plan a Magic School Bus trip. I'm gonna take like 15 good friends, and we all gonna go to the Boston Museum of Science and see the laser light show.
Boston Museum of Science. People are gonna be like, "Oh God, it's them again." Listen, we're all right with you people.
Is it even open? No, it's probably not open, Heather. You're right.
No,
it'll be open by my birthday, though. It should be open by my birthday.
Yeah, that would be a cool birthday party. We should get the party bus or the dabulance, and then we should get a bunch of people, and we should do like a.
Ashley, we don't go. As much as I love science too, we don't go to the Boston Museum of Science for science. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But we should go into the rest of it this time. And not just hang out where they serve like Slurpees. We hung out for like an hour and a half.
We go to the Museum of Science to learn science, to figure out why this is happening the way it is.
What's going on right now? To answer the eternal question,
why could I hear something?
Why are we here right now?
Away? It is so close.
We go to the Museum of Science to...
Ashley, we go there to have a good time. We are adults What does Pink Floyd say? He said, what does he say? The kid in me. What is it? What is this? What does he say in the song? Something about the dream is dead, but the kid is gone, or something. The dream's dead. Something. Y'all know the slow. What is it? The kid is dead, or the dream is dead. The kid is grown. Is that what it is? The dream is dead. The kid is grown. I think y'all got to tell me.
He knows his Pink Floyd.
Oh,
He heard Pink Floyd for the
tripping.
first time, and
Pink
he was like,
I know all of it.
it was his. It
that
really
Omni
spoke to
Theater.
him. Totally spoke to him.
Ashley,
So-
I don't know if you can go. Ashley, I don't know if you ready.
Pink Floyd spoke to him so much that
Ashley, I don't know if you're ready for our Magic School Bus trip. I think you're in the comments and you're all there, but I don't think you all there. Like,
or you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
let
right.
go my ego.
All right, we gotta go. I think, don't we? Kind of.
I guess.
You want to keep
Well,
going?
Mike said that he don't want to talk to y'all. Mike don't want to talk to y'all no more because it's time for his ass to go, and he don't like y'all no more. So it was fun, but it's time to go.